Hello, dear viewer. The new year is upon us, and I'm ready to make my New Year's resolutions.
You see, over the years I've talked about tens of reviewers, and public responses to my opinions have always run the gamut from positive, at times sycophantic agreement, to, Asa, you are fat and gay and fat, and I hope you die in a fire, like the fat, lonely virgin you are.
Seems there's little use for the middle ground these days, huh, Internet?
Anyhow, I digress. In the interest of starting off the new year on the right note, I wish to
do an RAR about Chris Bars!
But wait, the irate gamer hasn't been relevant in years. Why do you want me to—
Asa, do another RAR about NC-17!
Does that guy even make videos anymore?
Asa, you promised to do a review on Navigator's FS7 review.
Alright. Okay, so maybe a few years back I may have promised a few RARs that simply never happened to my original viewership. But come on, how many of my original viewers are still around? I mean, I haven't heard from Vixor or Digeron92 in months, for example.
And you guys even took a poll to see which one I should revisit for your amusement. Wow. Alright, I'll bite, but which one should we go for, folks? There doesn't even seem to be a clear consensus here.
Well, it's the new year, and one of my New Year's resolutions is that I'll never touch upon any of these guys ever again. After this RAR, of course. So why don't we just go nuts and do all of them? Happy New Year.
Sometime after like the third or fourth RAR, I'd asked my viewers at the time which Boars video they wanted me to do most, since it still hadn't occurred to me to choose a different subject for variety purposes. The unanimous response, of course, was Monster Party, which had already been out for almost about a year by then. Well, I put it off, chose different people to talk about over and over, and so days became months and then years. But some people to this day still want to hear about the Boars, which I guess speaks volumes about the kind of widespread ill will Boars brought upon himself by choosing to be among the first to copy AVGN's now archaic formula. Problem is, this is the exact same fact that blinded most people to the true shortcomings of Boars' work, which weren't really that he was doing the same thing AVGN was doing at the time, sometimes doing his shtick verbatim, but that he plain and simply wasn't good at it. It's a shame the majority of people took the plagiarism argument and harped on it so much that his true deficiencies went virtually undiscussed for years. Well, let's take a look at the fabled Monster Party review and see if we can jog those memories. Gee, thanks for the clarification, Boars.
For over a year now, I've been trying to take over the Irate Gamer show with no success. I hired the Predator to sabotage the show. That failed. I reprogrammed Rob the Robot to become a killing machine.
Only time you came up with an idea before AVGN.
I have one more plan up my sleeve that'll finally destroy the Irate Gamer once and for all.
You got him a cameo in AVGN's upcoming movie? Yeah, Boars was never good at writing. There are several things that are always consistent in his videos. Cheesy dialogue, corny jokes, the hackneyed stories he'd tack onto his quote-unquote reviews. They're always there. This one, as you can see, was no different.
Actually, the house you're looking for is down the street.
Thank you, sir.
You know, that was just one guy doing all those voices. I can't believe it.
I can't believe this. The biggest Halloween party this side of the city is right down the street, and I'm not even invited to it.
Have you considered wearing deodorant?
But not only that, I've been getting people all day coming to my door asking, "Where's the Halloween party at?" Yeah, like I care.
You complain that you weren't invited, but then you say you don't care. You're quite the troubled individual, Boars.
Well, since I'm already in a pissed off mood, this is probably the perfect time to review another game.
Or the perfect time to relax in a hot tub or do some other activity that doesn't involve having to inform or entertain an audience, right? Right?
See what we got. Alright, let's see here. What is that?
That which you are pointing to appears to be a shelf full of NES cartridges. Any other questions?
The occult shelf?
Ah, excellent question. No, that's the occult shelf. Occult.
Where the hell did this come from?
I imagine it came from IKEA.
And there's only one game sitting here, too. Monster Party. I wasn't even aware I owned this game.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not aware of at least half of what you own, since you only got those games in order to make it look as though you actually play them.
Well, maybe I'll just go ahead and try this one out. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Well, some guy can see your crappy review and decide to record commentary for it over 3 years later.
Monster Party is a game that's considered a cult classic by some, and a bad game by others.
Gee, how insightful. Let me show you why that was such a pointless thing to say in a review, Boars.
Suikoden is a game that's considered a cult classic by some, and a bad game by others.
Chess
Is a game that's considered a cult classic by some, and a bad game by others.
competitive puking.
Is a game that's considered a cult classic by some, and a bad game by others.
It can be applied to anything. Besides, this is a review. You're supposed to be telling us how you feel about this product, not how you think everybody else does. That's how a review works.
The game starts off by introducing us to the main character named Mark.
Well, that makes sense. Imagine if they started the game by showing you the ending.
On his way home from baseball practice, he's approached by a monster that needs his help in fighting evil monsters that have taken over his world.
Sounds like a fun premise for a game to me.
Mark agrees to this alliance, and the monster then fuses both their bodies together. Ugh, I said I'd help this guy, not share my body with him.
Big deal. You shared your body with every single character you introduced into this video of yours. Yes, folks. That's why every character in the Irate Gamer show sounds like the Irate Gamer.
Once the game begins, you'll start off by playing as Mark. But find the magic pill, and the boy Wonder here will turn into the monster for a short period of time.
Now, try to remember what he just said, because later on he's going to repeat this fact as though he hadn't already brought it up.
Oh, I see. So we're basically operating on the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde principle.
Oh, the hundreds of YouTube videos that have exploited this one error of his. We should be thankful for the laughs we got for nearly 4 years from his very existence.
And that's where the main character can turn into a monster and turn back again throughout the game.
I love how he made up his own term to explain this cliche, which really needed no explanation.
Well, I guess it's okay as long as the transformation doesn't last a fucking fortnight.
Now, why does the fact that this game gives him extra options to play with bother him so much? And why did he choose exactly 2 weeks as his punchline word? Did he think that would make him sound smarter?
Sorry, Boris. That ship sailed long before you made your Monster Party review. Maybe if your diction didn't sound like a fish trying to gargle molasses, we'd have actually taken you seriously for a change.
This simple transformation ends up taking way too much time. Time that could be better spent killing off enemies. Like this weirdo who's engulfed in flames.
Engulfed. See what I mean?
Stop, drop, roll, man! You think that's bad?
You think that's bad?
Just look at these idiots who are buried upside down. The only way to kill them off is by literally beating their asses.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. So what is your complaint here, that you actually have to beat something using the weapons given to you? That's called a challenge, son.
Let's just hope he doesn't decide to shit on me.
He? He who? Who is it you're hoping won't shit on you? The legs? How do you know that's a he? Looks more likely that it's a she, actually. Or, just some awkward-looking plant. Given the boss of the stage, it's safe to assume those are actually supposed to be some sort of monster plants, and whether it's legs or plants, poop doesn't come from those.
Now your main goal in this game is to enter these doors that are spread throughout the level, and kill the huge boss inside. Now if you plan on entering these doors while playing as Mark, then you're making a huge mistake.
Or, you're just playing the game with a different strategy than let's plug in a Game Genie and hope no one notices. More on that later on.
Because Mark is a pussy. The only weapon he has to fight with is a stupid baseball bat with a very short attack range.
Yeah, it's called a challenge. Kinda like you trying to speak clear, understandable English.
And this is really unfortunate since this boss requires 60 hits just to kill him. 60 hits? I'll be here all damn day!
60 hits? Jesus Christ! No, it's more along the lines of 20 hits. Let me show you.
Failed basic math, did we, Boars? Or don't tell me you were actually sitting there for hours on end trying to bat the bubbles right back at the plant before you decided to go with a monster, did you? Oh, you kill me, Boars. You kill me.
And this is the stuff that emotional scarring events are made of.
Clearly you don't watch your own videos after you make them.
Remember the water level shit they pulled in the Ninja Turtles game? Yeah, it's kinda like that.
It's not like that at all. As you can see, you can't beat the seaweeds there with a baseball bat in true pussy fashion.
So if you want to destroy this enemy easily, it's best to find the magic pill first and turn into the monster since he is the better fighter.
Yeah, if you want to waste it on the first boss, that is.
He pretty much kicks ass. Mark, on the other hand, just, does whatever you call that.
Leopard crawling? Do you think these guys are pussies too?
The only drawback to playing as the monster is that you're only given a few minutes to fight before you change back into the pussy boy Mark.
Yeah, you said that earlier.
So, whatever you plan on doing, you better do it quickly. Now, if Mark is clearly the weakest fighter in this game, how come in the intro, the monster makes him out to be some powerful kid who can help him save the world from destruction? I don't think this kid even knows how to save toilet paper.
All toilet paper aside, have you considered the possibility that maybe the monster might not have those powers if he didn't fuse with the kid? Or maybe he was just on a tight schedule and was looking for the first humanoid he could find, carrying anything vaguely resembling a weapon.
Why ask an 8-year-old kid for help when you can find someone older and with much more fighting experience? It's like this monster decided to pick Urkel over Schwarzenegger. What a shit for brains.
Again, we don't know the urgency of his situation, Boars.
But maybe I'm missing the bigger picture here. Maybe the game company decided to have the main playable character be a young kid because they wanted this game to be intended for kids.
Actually, any amount of research will show you that no, this game was actually intended to be gorier than the final product turned out to be. And there's even an ongoing project to restore the game to its original intent, which you can see in these prototype screenshots. You see, when it was brought over to the US, it was censored even more than it was already censored in Japan. There were also issues of monsters that Bandai didn't have the rights to in the US, so monsters got a makeover, pixels got blackened, and the game ended up as a weird mishmash of not quite kiddie, not quite horror. Boars, you were so intent on calling this a bad game that you didn't stop to consider the interesting history behind it. You missed out on telling your viewers something insightful about this little game. For shame.
I mean, we get bloody heads.
Uh-oh. When he starts listing off things, you know it's almost time for one of his customary sketches. Enjoy.
Hey Chris, what are you playing?
Ah, shit. Now my cousin Joey's gonna have nightmares for a week.
A week? Why not a fortnight?
Why does this game constantly insist on wasting my time? We've got empty rooms, long transformations, battles that last 60 hits long. My time is precious. I can't be just wasting it on pointless bullshit.
That hasn't stopped you from making videos in 4 years. Why would it stop you from playing a game? But you're right, Boars. We shouldn't waste time on pointless bullshit. See you in part 2, folks.
Next time on RAR 23, the thrilling conclusion to the final RAR on the Irate Gamer. NC-17 makes an appearance. And why is Asa wearing a jester hat? Find out next time, dear viewer.